Hello, hello, hello. It's Mark Attwood here. Mark Attwood Show, Adventures in the Cosmic Suits. Whatever time of day it is, I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for being here. I know why you're here, and she's in the waiting room, but I'll bring her in a second. What I want to say first is don't forget to sign up to the email thing in the box below. The thing in the thing. Yeah. So this is another live with Janine, and I'm going to call this episode Who's Going to Interrupt Us This Time? Hello, Janine.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
We've had a washing machine. What else have we had? I can't remember. The postman.
Cleaners.
Yeah.
And now maybe tell us.
Maybe the telecoms guys are going to walk through the door. It's because it's always this time of day for you. It's like delivery time in Canada, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's nighttime here in Ireland.
Right.
Well, we're having let's talk about the events that we're doing in Ireland and England in April 1st, because we have an event on the April the 15th. The link is below this description, guys. If you want to come to Manchester in the UK, Janine will be there, I'll be there, Tom Numbers will be there, Anya Lily will be there. I've got some other special guests. The last time we did that show at that venue, it was amazing. And this one, I think, is going to be even more amazing. So please come to that, especially if you're in the UK. Although last time I did it, we had people come from Australia, all over Europe, America. It was nuts. And we're also doing, that's going to be like a live version of this show. The other one is a gala dinner, because lots of people said, please bring Janine to Ireland. And I was like, well, let's do something different. So we're doing a gala dinner on the 19th of April. And the new for anybody that's already booked, it's not going to be at the Trump Hotel anymore. I just have to break that news to you, because there's been a double book, and I only found out recently, and I'm looking for another venue, but there are lots and lots of gorgeous venues in Ireland, so that's not going to be an issue. And if it doesn't go ahead, I'll just refund you, but I think it's looking like we've got the numbers to go ahead. So I'm excited about that, because that's just going to be a lovely celebratory, nice evening in a beautiful place in a beautiful country, which would be nice. Yeah.
I can't wait.
And then I'm going to Hawaii with Lewis straight after, apparently. But I've not got the dates yet.
Yeah.
So, how have you been?
You know what? Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Other than grumpier than usual.
What? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you doing your email stuff? Go away.
Yeah. I'm getting grumpy on my website because, some of the comments, I'm just like, are you guys serious? I'm pretty sure it's the retrogrades going on. So there's a Mars and a Venus, and a Mercury retrograde, and it's creating a lot of conflict, and it's all coming out in the chat on my website, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Humorous.
Yeah, I've been a bit conflicty recently. And so I understand. Just got to stay zen. We just got to ground, stay zen, relax. It's not that easy. The energies are nuts. And you finally met up with JC in Canada.
Oh, that was so much fun. Yeah, I spent 4 days with Jean-Claude, Julie, and Sophie joined us on the last 2 days. We did a really nice Nordic spa day all together. That was hilarious. Really fun. Sitting around in our robes having lunch together.
Why not?
It was fun.
Self-love is the beginning of happiness.
Yeah.
It is. It's a very good thing.
For
Well,
sure.
I'm glad that went well. It's nice to see all these people. It's nice to see people getting together. And that's why we do doing the live events, because we've all been isolated for a very long time. Although I haven't. I've been traveling for 4 months now. But there was. I think I've overdone it, to be honest. But this time I'm bringing them to me.
Right.
So anyway, crazy day. If we can start with the cards, please, Janine. I would like to first ask you about the all the airplanes being grounded in the US today. Did you see that?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Okay.
Because they called it a glitch, a system glitch.
Sure they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. A system glitch. I don't know. Interesting. So I think it was bigger than a system glitch, and it might have had something to do with the financial system. I don't know how that would be. and a very important person, a very knowledgeable person, somehow something around these finances and a knowledgeable person. We've got the two. Let me just keep looking here. We've got the two. Oh, they needed them grounded because something was being moved around. Something was being people. And so justice system and financial system is what I'm getting. So let me just, justice system. So things and people were being moved around for the sake of, or the cause of justice, and also the financial system. So there was two different things affecting it. Things going on in the back channels for the financial system, for abundance for people. That feels like Jasara Nasara type energy. I've always got that there's some kind of Jasara Nasara type situation coming for the world, and it may not look exactly like Jasara Nasara. I know there's real specific rules with Jasara Nasara, but it's a version of that. So some kind of, paying back the people for everything that's been done. Something like that's coming. And it feels like they needed the planes grounded because those situations, maybe they had other planes up in the air they didn't want people to see, and they were moving people and situation, some kind of situation involving our financial, I think the gold back standard. So I'm not sure why they would need to ground planes because of that, but also the justice system was moving people around. So they didn't want you to see that. They didn't want, they needed everybody, no eyes on.
Yeah, I kind of picked that up. I was thinking that today. They're just getting everybody out of the way for something. And it's interesting that you reading the Nasara Jasara type stuff into that as well, because I thought it might be just be transporting bad guys. Because what's going on in Congress is crackers, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that crackers? Let's talk about that guy. What's his name? McCarthy?
Yeah.
Is that really him?
No.
It's not him, is it?
No. People have showed side by side pictures that guy, and I always get he's been taken out a while back.
Yeah.
Whoever that is a capitulated, puppeted person or playing this guy. And Trump's really in charge in the back channel there.
If anybody's watching this who's a white hat casting director, I'd love to play a senator. It'd be great. What a laugh. Slapping each other about, shouting at each other, holding up phones with DJT on. It's just 17 did say enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you don't need to read the cards on that. Trump's in charge of all of that. Well, the military are in charge of it all. Yeah. So I'll move on to the next one. The next question is, and this was asked by Denise McFarlane, but it's something I was going to ask anyway. So there was this UK MP called Andrew Bridgen, who basically came out and said that this was worse than the thing that rhymes with bollopost. It rhymes with that word, bollopost. Happened about 70 years ago.
Okay.
And he got suspended from Parliament.
Goodness.
And the UK papers are slagging him off. I actually played a little game on him today because I went on Twitter. You know that poem where I say the CUNT word?
Yep.
Yeah. And I posted that and copied him in and said, well done, we're standing up behind you. And if you guys haven't watched that poem, you can find it on BitChute, themarkatwoodshow.com, or Rumble, and it's called There Is But One Word. Go and watch it. If you're not easily offended, go and watch it. If you are easily offended, you shouldn't be on this show anyway. But anyway, the question is, because being offended is a waste of time. Yeah. Andrew Bridgen, is he a white hat? Is it a white hat operation? What's going on with him?
Okay.
And welcome Lewis in the chat. Lewis Holmes is in the chat. Say hello.
Hi, Lewis. Okay. The star and well, he's made deals in the background to be part of Trump and the White Hat team, alliance team. He might have even been approached by an alliance energy as opposed to literally human energies, because this card's more other dimensional and or ETs. But yeah, he's a good guy now anyway. he was approached in the past. And nothing here says he was bad at any time anyway, but right now he's working for the good.
That's good to hear, because it is extremely nice to see politicians doing the right thing after all this time of them doing the wrong thing. So it is wonderful to see that. And, shifting the consciousness to the point where people like us are not spat at in the street for being crazy would be wonderful. I've getting quite a few questions about the fog and the floods in California. Noel Martin's asked that, and quite a few people on Telegram asked about that. So could we talk about that?
Yep.
What's going on with the weather in California?
Did you watch that video I shared on Twitter with Ellen Degenerate?
No, I didn't. Alan, I call him Alan Degenerate.
Yeah. Him. Whining about how her place and that whole neighborhood with all of those elite, huge Hollywood stars is just flooding. It's amazing. I loved it.
I know, it's good. I need to watch that, but it's good to see those places getting flooded. I hope nobody gets hurt, though. No good people get hurt.
No, of course not. Well, it kind of looks like a two-part thing here. I feel like it was the word I get in my mind is it was a necessary thing. And even though it is causing destruction, they really had to think about how they were going to orchestrate it. So it's orchestrated. It's an orchestrated event. And I believe that could be tunnels and cleaning out things that are underground. So they're cleaning out things that are underground. And they did make some deals with people around there. And I don't know if we can have some confirmation on that, or we will in the future. But people that lived there, some of them, they actually said, you better get out of here, if they knew they were good people. So I feel like they actually gave the heads up to some of the people there to get the heck out of there because this was coming. So they're working on cleaning out underground activities, situations. I don't know what we can say here, but they're working on cleaning out the underground evil that's going on.
I think we all know what you're talking about, so that's good. That's great, and that ties in with what I was feeling about it, which is I'm really happy. I'm always happy when that happens. I mean, the weather's got crackers all over. How is it in Canada? Is the weather crackers there?
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it was strangely really warm in Ottawa. I was all ready because I heard Ottawa could be so cold because of the damp on top of the temperatures and so much snow. No, it was absolutely brilliant. I wore a spring coat the whole time I was there. Calgary's been amazingly warm for Calgary. I mean, we're below zero some of the days, but we're right about the 0 point in Celsius. And just dipping down maybe to 7 below at night. And that's really nice and mild for this time of year.
And here's Janine with the weather. Do you ever see Bill Hicks when he did that? We're just killed it in. Here's Tom with the weather.
Yeah.
Talking to Tom Numbers is in the chat. We have to say hello to Tom. Hello, Tommy.
Hey, Tom.
Right, I've got a question. So this one's about Ireland. And so this is interesting. Now, I first started looking into the history of Ireland when I moved here because, I like to know about the place that I'm in. And I came across a guy called Michael Tazarian. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's an amazing researcher, been doing a lot of work for a long time. And he talks about Atlantis and an island and linked to Egypt and everything else. And then I kind of left it for a bit. And then I started reading this other book. The other day, I bought a book called Atlantis Island by a guy called Anthony Woods, who I'm going to interview next week. And in it, he basically proves beyond doubt that Ireland is Atlantis. So this mythical island that was in the middle of the sea is actually here. It's right in front of us. So it's another example of hidden in plain sight. So the question is, was Era actually Atlantis?
Wow. And I wonder if that's why they've been so hard on the Irish.
Well, Janine, the other book that I was reading about it talked about these barriers, these psychic barriers that have gone up around the world to keep the matrix in place. And in most of the world, there were like 2 layers of it, but over Ireland there were 16 layers, which is, and they've pommeled it and pommeled it and pommeled it. But when you come here, you'll see the sacred sites and the stones are everywhere, and it does point to this land being the home of a master civilization, because these stones are replicated all over the world, but they started here. Anyway, I'll shut up.
We got a yes.
Whoa! Well, Anthony Woods is going to love this because he wrote the book.
We got a yes, and then we've got so something happened that it was destroyed. Okay, so it looks like an external force destroyed it and then moved it, if that makes any sense. So it was moved to a new territory. So it might have originated somewhere else, and then they moved it to what is now known as Ireland. Does that make any sense to what he was getting?
Yes, I think so. Well, I haven't finished the book, and this is why I'm interviewing him, because I'm time short, and it's quicker for me to interview the author. So I'm speaking to him next week.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm on about page 70 at the moment. So, but that is very interesting. And I think this connects with the people of Scotland as well. Actually, I want to ask you a question about, this has triggered a question for me. Have you ever heard of the Giant's Causeway?
No? I don't know too much about it, but I've heard of it.
So it's in Northern Ireland, and it's this incredible place where it's hexagonal shaped pillars, which is the same shape as the pillars that form the Devil's Tower in America, because it's this hexagonal shaped crystalline structure. So my question is, was that really a causeway for giants to get from Ireland to Scotland? Because it's got a visitor centre outside of it, explaining how it's all volcanic. I mean, if you ever see a visitor centre, like the Titanic one in Belfast that I saw recently, which is just literal propaganda bullshit in real life, just to keep everybody believing the narratives that they put out. So I just don't trust. I don't trust them.
So there's truth to that. And we've got the temperance card. There's going to be more coming out about that in time. It's not time to know everything about that, but there's truth to something you're saying when you get that card. It's been covered up for a reason, and it's really interesting because I get the cover up, or it's been hidden for a reason, and the reason is by the good guys for a protection. I wonder if they're trying to protect. I wonder if there's still somehow dimensionally giants there, like coming in and out of dimension, because we know in Alberta and British Columbia and Canada, there's lots of stories about Sasquatch and giant beings that are like Bigfoot. And in the US, they call it Bigfoot. We call it Sasquatch. There's a lot of stories about them coming in and out of people's visions, kind of thing. I think they dimensionally come in and out, and this is what it feels like. They're dimensionally hidden on purpose for their own protection.
Yeah, we call him the abominable, I can't say that word, abominable snowman. I think Sasquatch is the best name. There was an amazing video out recently of a guy who was on TikTok who accidentally videoed a giant on top of a snow top mountain. And then he tried to get back there, and he got stopped by Secret Service type people. Yeah. And then he did a video saying it was all fake, but he was looking off camera like somebody was pointing a gun, and then he died. So this stuff is the veil is definitely, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more of this stuff. I think people are seeing more of this stuff, and you can't hide it, really. I mean, even, you know, Juan talking about the UFO sightings when we were in the States. Anyway, I'm going to change subject. There's something about a company in the UK called JD Williams, which is owned by N. Brown. And JD Williams, I think, is like a catalog company. And there's a Lord Alliance. Stu Gradwell's asked this question. Can you do a read into Lord Alliance? Because I think there's something dodgy going on there.
So what am I actually asking about? Is there a question there?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
Should I just?
I'm reading other people's questions because
Okay.
I like to name check people on this show because they like it. And
Yep.
I read something. It was in my. I read something about it briefly, and then I can't remember. And I think it might be to do with the substance, the product derived from the little people.
Right. The products that were being sort of forced for a while on everybody.
No, not that one. The one that's derived from small people.
Oh, right. Got it. A
And
party substance.
yeah, that's what you call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And child trafficking.
Okay. So we're wondering if that company is connected to that sort of activity?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. The hoops we got to jump here, hey?
I know.
I forgot.
Do you like my dollar boss? That was quite funny. Oh dear.
Okay, so temperance and the king 8 and okay. In the past they were, but they've been that company might have been capitulated or taken over by the good guys. I wonder if that makes any sense. But in the past, they were connected to it. So they've been taken over. I believe a lot of big companies and corporations have been taken over, including Disney, including all kinds of them.
Well, they were all involved, you know, from Walmart to Wayfair, Amazon. They were all part of this bloody network of trafficking.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and a catalog company makes complete sense as well, because what are they doing? They're just shipping things around, and it's exactly the same as the online thing. So that does make sense. Yeah, I've got a question here from JCM21. And the reason I'm going to ask this question is because recently I've got an insider here who works within the telecoms industry in this country, who I've been constantly keeping in touch with him and asking him about 5G towers. And he said, no, it all got stopped in 2020. That's what he told me. And then what they've been doing in Ireland is they've been laying, and I think they've probably been doing this all over the world, so it's not just about Ireland. They've been laying these 5G fiber optics in every town across the country. He called me up the other week and he said, you need to come and see this. And he drove me into the woods, and you wouldn't be able to find this place. And there was this huge tower there covered in what he says is 5G technology and microwaves. And they've got a new way of transmitting the 5G. So, and what was the question that the other person asked? JCM21 said, what's really going on with these 5G towers? They're going up everywhere. And I asked him if he'd heard of Covfefe, and he hadn't. You know, Trump tweeted about that. That's supposed to be the thing that goes on that turns it into good frequencies. So the question is, are these 5G towers that are going up everywhere good or bad? And by the way, everybody, get one of these. They're great. This is a EMF reader. I was going up to them and the readings went off the charts. But I'm not an expert, so I don't know if that's good or bad.
So in the past, they were lethal. They were meant to take down whoever they didn't get the other ways, right? They being deep state and dark hats. Okay, so now, not all of them, but a whole lot of them have been switched over. So the Judgment card, and we've got the Queen of Cups, but there's still a few rogue, towers left or whatever. And we've got the Magician in the middle. So they know about them. It's a matter of literally locating and finding them. So there's a few left in the world. And I mean, not very many, but there are some. And they're being, hunted, basically. They're looking for them. So it'd be interesting if this person could exactly identify where that one was. I'm going to pull a card on if the one he showed you was a dangerous one.
Okay.
No, that was a capitulated one or one transferred to positive by the White Hats or the Alliance or both.
Very interesting. It's interesting. They're putting them up overnight. So it's all sort of subterfuge, and it's very interesting.
I think they're using a positive sort of energy too. So she's truth and integrity. And I have a feeling when they switch them over, they're actually using them, like you said, for something good. And I always got that something would be put in place or was already created that would step back a lot of the things that happened when people got the products that they were pushing as the V word. That weren't that. Okay, those products, I always got that there was something years ago, even when it first started happening, I got there was something that Mr. T and the White Hats had planned that could step back the damage. I got a feeling this is one of the things that can.
Yeah, it's a bit like the chemtrails, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a question here from Susan Appley. Will Harry actually reveal any big truth bombs about the Crown and their involvement in the trafficking?
That's been really interesting. Hey, that fake Harry guy. Oh, and I saw him interviewed, and it's not even remotely looking like Harry or sounding like him. It's like, who's buying that? Who's even buying that has anything to do with the original Harry?
Well, it's the same with Charles. That's not Charles. That's
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really funny. There's some people still think that Biden is real.
Yeah.
What?
I saw a picture just today of something going on with his face where the mask was all squishing. Yeah, it was like, okay, I think we got a malfunction in the mask here.
In the Biden bot.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like they put Harry up to this, they being the good guys. The good guys put Harry up. He's been working for the good guys for a while, or the person that the brand, let's say the brand of Meghan and Harry actually is owned by the White Hats and the Alliance. Okay, and what they want him to, he's definitely going to plant some seeds about how the royal family is connected to, this would be, I'm gonna call it on this show, the Dark Hats. Okay, so definitely connected, and he's gonna make the connections, but it's not gonna be as in your face. You'd like it to be more in your face, but he's more gonna plant seeds and just start the ball rolling, because they're going to need to do that in layers for a lot of people that are really in love with the royals. Okay, they're going to need to be, because there's going to be a lot of hurt and anger when it comes out the truth. So they have to do this in degrees to get this to work, so people don't lose it or go into cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, I was in Marrakesh at Christmas, and I got invited out to meet the writer of The Crown for drinks, but I turned it down. I should have gone, but I had my kids and I couldn't really go. But the Crown's doing a very good job as well.
Yeah.
Of shifting the consciousness that way, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should have met him. Yeah, this one's from Marion Van Exter. Have you heard of FCB Decode in Australia?
Absolutely. I promote his videos because I think he's doing a good job.
Oh, he's great. He's absolutely great. So I don't know if you've done the cards on this, but he said this Friday is when we're going to get the big tweet.
Yeah.
Have you done the cards? You done them already?
Yeah.
Well, you can just give us the answer then.
Let's have a look.
Okay.
Oh, just for fun, let's have a look.
Everybody knows FCB Decode is really great decoder in Australia, and he basically put all these bits and bobs together from the diamond woman that allegedly died the other day, and found lots of mirrors and put it all together and said that the big tweet that everybody's waiting for from 17, which is, my fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. He says that's going to happen on Friday. Hamish, I've already asked that question. You'll have to go back.
Okay, so he's right on with his decoding. Okay, but something about the timing might have changed. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, so we know that in these kind of situations, they're moving situations, so a bunch of things have to line up. So I feel like there could be a little hold up in when he says, not very much, but there's going to be a hold up in exactly when. I don't think it'll be exactly Friday, but I think it's really soon. And yeah, it won't be exactly Friday. They never really want you to know exactly the day. So even the decodings probably got codes over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah. I mean, so somebody asked a question, I can't remember who, asking whether the the truthers are being used by the white hats. I think we know the answer to that question.
Oh, yeah. I think we're getting our chains yanked all over the place.
Yeah.
Even the spirit world. When I did readings for 35 years for clients, and I did it daily, 6 days a week for years and years and years, I saw often that the universe won't tell you certain things because if you learn, like if you come across the situation, organically, let's say, and you don't have a heads up about it, sometimes the learning's better. So I feel like the spirit world cloaks things too in this situation. It's working hand in hand because this is a spiritual situation we're all in. And we're all evolving with this. This is an evolution process for humanity. It's way bigger than just the daily politics you're looking at in the news. And it's way bigger. There's layers and layers going on here. And the universe has a big hand in what's happening too. And so do all of our souls. And we all agreed to do the work. And I feel like sometimes the universe won't tell you exactly because it's better if you don't know, because somehow it helps the process of evolution.
Yeah, and that's why we all get drip fed the spiritual experiences, because you get what you're ready for when you're ready for it. The teacher arrives when the student is ready. That's the thing you got to remember with all of this, guys. I'm going to flip to a question about money, and I would like to know if I don't know if you've already answered this question before. Just tell me the short version. But has XRP already replaced the SWIFT system? Does that question make sense to you?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Just explain to the audience while you're shuffling. SWIFT is the system by which, if you do an international bank payment, they used to hold on to it and then they trade that money. And then this is one of the ways they made lots and lots of money. XRP is a crypto coin owned by Ripple. It's ISO 20022 or whatever it is. And it's highly likely that XRP is being used to replace these because, and if it is, it's a very good thing. And if Janine says it has already, I'd go and buy some XRP because it's currently about 30 cents.
That's a big yes.
Yes.
and the chariot says it will speed things up, but they're going to wait till the whole system gets rolled out. So they need some other things before so they're still probably faking you out that things can still take some time. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you're not going to see it exactly like today. You know what I mean? It's really soon, but a few things have to happen. But it's already replaced, so you're gonna see that as an improvement really, really quick here.
And if XRP has replaced SWIFT, believe me, that 30 cents is going to be $10, $20, $100,000 per coin. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'd have a bit if I was you guys watching this. Tom has asked a question. Always a bloody football question, Tom. I'm only asking it because we're mates. That's the only reason I'm asking this question. We do chat about football occasionally. Gianluca, I can't remember, Vialli, the Italian footballer, manager, died suddenly the other day. Is he in witness protection? Yes, and XLM, light shadow. Yep, 100%.
Well, he's hidden. And he was working for the good of humanity. Does that make sense to his personality?
I don't know him that well.
Yeah, he was working with these guys. So that's my Mr. T and the White Hats, or my alliance. And there was some kind of threat. So this was in his atmosphere. So that could be a threat, or something was going to be exposed. So they had to, they had to get him out of the way. You might see him later here, like physically. You're going to find out that he didn't really go.
Yeah, I mean, it saddens me, but I think football is intrinsically linked to bad stuff. And that's, I grew up as a footballer in a footballing family, and I kind of stopped when the Premier League started. I kind of stopped Whereas people like Tom just went around and made friends with every single famous footballer on the planet. All right, Tom? I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know either.
He had Lara Logan on the other day, and I rang him and said, Lara Logan? He said, yeah, she's been a mate of mine for years. I was like, what? How does he do it? Anyway, love you, Tom. Right, next question is, I mean, I saw you do an interview with Ricardo Bosi the other day, didn't I? Or a show?
Yep, I was on a video. We were surprise guests, both of us.
Amazing.
I was given the heads up that he was going to be there, so I made sure to look my best.
He's amazing. I love that man.
He is amazing. Yeah, what a character, actually. I really like his style, like just how direct he is, and he doesn't take any guff, and I love it.
He's a proper Australian.
Yeah.
He's like Crocodile Dundee, but sort of Italian looking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The question is from where is it? Who's asked this question? I think it's Kelly Marsden. Is he ever going to govern Australia? I'd love it. Wouldn't he be great?
Mm-hmm. I'd like him to govern Canada and the US, frankly. we need more of those guys. Yeah,
we do.
We need some leaders like that.
No, I know. I really like that Roland Rat guy we've got in the UK. He's great, and the short ass Taoiseach in Ireland, they're fantastic. Macron's wonderful. What a gorgeous, beautiful man.
Good. Okay, so he's already been secretly offered something.
Ooh, secrets.
And we've got the Fool. So I feel like they're going to keep that a secret till the last minute, but I think the cat's out of the bag with that one. Okay, so here we've got, so that's our good military. So they've been in touch with them. And so that's my white hat military. Okay, here we've got the Justice. So it's karmic and just. So it's kind of saying maybe he was spiritually put here in this time for that very task. Maybe it's basically saying if it's karmic and just, he'll do it. But right now they're not saying for sure, as in it's not a known thing out in public.
Good. I'm very pleased to hear that. I would love. Somebody's asked Simone. I can't believe you've asked, is Michelle Obama a man? Where have you been for the last few years? Of course he is.
Absolutely.
Go and look at my poem, God Wins, and you'll see a picture of his wang in there behind a dress. I assume you saw the Joan Rivers clip when she was.
Oh yeah.
I miss her. She was.
Brilliant. And apparently, there was so many sightings of him taking advantage of or like actually attacking people and stuff in the back rooms and stuff, and definitely showing themselves as a male. Yeah, it's like all covered up, all paid off. People paid off.
I mean, it costs so much money to perpetuate all these lies that they've been running. It's ridiculous. Got a question here from Jan about Ron DeSantis. Is he at the spa? Is the real Ron DeSantis in the spa? That's a little place south of Florida for those that don't know. There's no massages there.
No, I doubt there is.
There's a few of these.
Yeah, maybe some neck massages going on.
Yeah, very tight ones.
Oh boy. Okay, so I'd say yes with these cards. Gone away quite a while ago. And maybe even somewhere further away. That feels like it's another place for these guys, where these guys are kept. So this would be our deep state card. So government agents of the dark cult is what I like to think of the deep state. So I think there's even more places, and he might have been taken even further away than the south of Florida spa, because that's pretty close to home for him.
Yeah, it is. It's a short swim on a nice day. Just wading through some of these questions. Okay, Geraldine Shorts asked this interesting one. What's going to happen to the people who've had this, who've now woken up late, and what can they do? What can we do to help them, or will they just die? I believe in miracles personally, but
I do too. Knight of Cups, Queen, and okay, so it looks like there's help, but it would depend on their emotional state. So I feel like they might have some work to do spiritually to get the best benefits for the help. So it feels like they would have to get in a mental frame of mind that would sort of open them to receiving a shift there. So I feel like they got to do their spiritual work. Like spiritual work would be maybe looking at and really admitting that maybe that wasn't such a great idea. Maybe they need to do more research on things. Maybe they needed to look into things a little better. I'm not sure what they mean by this. They have to do the work. So emotionally get out of fear, emotionally understand that they were manipulated. Maybe they have to catch up to where a lot of us who chose not to have it, where our mind is. Maybe they had to catch up to that spiritually, or have some understanding that they did something that was, not based in their intuitive knowing or a soul growth or a positive to them. Like they literally accepted something that was handed out. And if they did any research, they'd probably figure out it was not coming from a good place. So I feel like they got to catch up to some of the work. But if they do that, I feel like it'll be a lot of things available. Even like off-world or other dimensional technology.
That's that's my feeling. That's, God.
Yeah.
But, I moved from indignation to compassion with people that did that, because so many people did it under massive pressure.
Yep.
So we've got to have compassion, and I'm hoping for the best in that regard. So I'm going to go back to Diamond. You probably already read cards on Diamond, haven't you? Is she?
Yep.
Yeah. What's the answer? Is she?
They whisked her off to protect her, and they also used the whole story as a big signaling.
Yeah, that figures. That figures. Yeah, this Chat GPT thing's popped up recently. Have you seen that?
No.
And it's funny because I got introduced to it by my daughter, who was very proudly showing it me, because it's an AI thing and you can put stuff in it, and you can tell it to write an essay on English history from a perspective of a 16-year-old girl, and it will do it really well. She's very pleased about it because she doesn't have to do any homework. But wow. Who was I watching? I was watching somebody talk about it the other day. I think I saw it. It was like a video that was doing the rounds, saying that this AI was very bad because it got into your everything and knew everything about you. So I think the question is Chat GPT. And apparently, according to Lei Awin, who's asked this question, they're saying that Elon Musk released a free version from it, and he took it from Microsoft when he bought Twitter. Is this a program that will replace humans to work on computers? The question is ChatGPT a good thing or a bad thing?
It's getting turned into a good thing, but it started out being a bad thing. So again, we've got Mr. T and the White Hats kind of card. So the alliance, and then this is a breakthrough. They had a breakthrough, switching it over, temperance. So they're tempering it. So they're taking it and using it for good. That's in the middle. That's a healing card. They're going to turn it into something that's healing and good, but it's actually been secretly in the background around for a while, and they were planning on bringing it out. It got brought out sooner by the good guys once they took it over. So it just like the whole situation that locked everybody down, I believe that was triggered to come out way sooner than it was ready. the bad guys weren't ready to do it properly, and but they'd been planning it for a long time. The good guys got wind of it a long time ago, and they forced it out, and then they took charge of everything in the background. And not to say they could have stopped it per se, but at least they manipulated it and used the time to do good and to clean up the swamp, let's say. So I'm using really coded language, but you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. And also to expose. So they used something that was coming anyway, and they forced the hand of the bad guys to do it quicker. That's what they're doing with this too.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I presume you've already done a reading on the IRS and that wonderful headline where they're not going to fund the 87,000 armed collectors. I think that was all a setup anyway, just to get people freaked out.
Political theater. Theater. The whole thing's theater. They're just trying to get you to look into that, and even get in your mind, even in the normie mind, that IRS could come down, and there could be other ways to do it, because it's already in the background. The way it is down. So no, I'm not a political advisor, and I'm not telling anybody what to do with their taxes, but I'm just saying it's already changed in the back channels, and that'll become known to people sooner than later, as I'm thinking soon. And I feel like they're trying to get people, those kind of headlines that even say, because then they had a bill, it's actually going through maybe in the next few days, out there that says, should we just dismantle it altogether and do things totally different? Right? Like, just out of the blue, they're going to say that to just everyday people. We've known for a long time that it's an illegal system. You know what I mean? But they don't. So now that's bringing things in the public eye. I think it's a way they're getting things in there. So when everything comes out, it won't be so drastic for people to understand.
So another term that has gone very large in the public eye recently is the term child trafficking, because of the arrest of Andrew Tate.
Yep.
Now, I know I've seen him say some shocking things, but I think he's also said some incredible things. And people are asking the question, is he a good... Have you read on him already? Of course you have. Oh, you haven't? You haven't read on Andrew Tate? Whoa!
Oh, this will be fun.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Okay. No, I meant to get around to that, but I hadn't yet.
Phew. Can't believe I've actually asked a question you've never been asked.
Okay. So you said good guy or bad guy?
Yeah, let's keep it simple.
No, he agreed to be a forefront for this, and he agreed to even put himself in a difficult position, which could even be being called those kind of things, just to bring it out in the open. He made an agreement for that, and he's got protection. So he works for the good of people. Okay. And then I'm going to pull two more. Yeah, it'll be known. It'll become known. So these three are across the bottom. It's going to become known that he was asked to do this, and he won't always be stuck looking like a bad guy.
You know, I think part of the believability of the characters that have been put into the movie, including DJT, is that they have to come out with something outrageous, like Donald Trump's, thing about putting his hand between women's legs.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's kind of like, otherwise they're not believable characters. And these guys are so good at this movie stuff that they have to create it so that everybody's guessing all the time. That's my take on it. Somebody asked a question about smear tests. I'm sorry, I can't find your question because there's so many things, but I know you really wanted to ask this question. Are smear tests safe?
Say it again.
Smear tests.
What are those?
Oh, do I really have to explain that to you?
Oh, okay. So you're talking about, say you think you have a flu type situation?
No. I think it's to do with cervical cancer.
Oh, got it. That shows you how little I go anywhere near.
Yeah, but I nearly said vagina. Okay. I nearly said vagina 3 times in the last 2 minutes. I've said it now. Jehovah. Oh dear.
Okay, got it. Okay. I wasn't thinking over there.
I'm blushing. I have to ask these questions because people are asking it. So,
okay.
And I bet you've never been asked that question before as well.
Nope.
There you go. We have 10 minutes left.
Okay. Okay, we call them something else.
Oh, of course. You're Canadian.
Yeah, the word PAP comes to mind.
PAP?
Yeah, a PAP test.
That's what we call granddads in England. Oh dear. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're getting a cultural understanding of the differences, Canada and Ireland.
Trousers and pants. You know, it's all that.
Right. For and the page. Mm-hmm. Okay, the thing is, there's hidden things in what they're doing when they're doing that. So they're doing something that's hidden and collecting something from it. So some of them I would say are not safe. Okay, because or haven't been in the past, let's say, because they're collecting something. Remember what the 17th letter said, something about your DNA. So they're collecting something, and it could even be for some women, it could even be collecting something that could create infants. Now that's interesting. So if it gets really invasive, I guess, and sometimes they are, as I recall. I wonder if they're doing more sometimes, but it's not all the time. And then that looks like it's been switched around. So that looks like it's been switched around, and now people are, so that's for the general good of humanity. So I would say this is going to be stopped, let's say.
Good. I got very cross. You know, those bloody genetic test companies, 33, or I can't remember what it was called. And yeah, I mean, it was, to me, it was always obviously they're just collecting this stuff for other reasons. Yeah.
I could never understand people that would just spit in something or do something like that and send it off to who knows who and what they're doing with it. Like who would even agree to that?
Well, it's the same with your signature. Your signature is money. I interviewed a guy in Canada the other day who knows about this, and it's like we just sign everything they tell us to sign, hand over the money. We have to stand in our power. Even the guy that comes to your house and gives you a parcel and says you have to pay 100 euros or pounds, dollars or whatever tax, say no, because you've already paid for it.
Yep.
And I did this, and the police came to my house, and I had to have a massive argument for an hour, and then finally they left, and I got my parcel, and I didn't have to pay the tax. That's what this is all about, standing up.
Yeah.
I have a question here from Bob Fernandez. Sorry, Bob. I'm English. We don't have a lot of Fernandez, except in ABBA songs. Original sin, fact or fiction? This changes everything.
So it was a setup. It was trying to form so it was told to us to create a foundation, okay, that would take apart something. So put us on a flimsy foundation. It was to undermine us. So the story was told to undermine us. In particular, it really undermines women. Think about it, right? But humans and connectedness and relationships. It started the long-running battle of the sexes. Who did what? Who, you know, because original sin gets tagged on the female. Do you know what I mean? Because we bit that apple, supposedly, right? So no, it was absolutely the very first dark cult way of creating division between the sexes, and also to smear the name of the feminine. Think about it. They've been repressing the feminine, even in the way they like to swap things around at birth with their kids, et cetera, et cetera. And they don't have actual, literally, a lot of these elites families, when they're really high up in the club, let's say, they don't birth children because everybody's been swapped around from birth and they're not natural females or males. So we got all kinds of silliness going on. And yeah, they just don't believe in that because they don't want the nurturing mother energy of the divine feminine involved in the way they raise their kids, because it's the horrific things that they're doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. And don't forget, these guys invented feminism as well. Look it up. Look it up. Did you see the video with Christian 21 on Linda Paris?
No, Linda Paris, I used to really love her, and she was really nice about my stuff, and I'd share everything of hers. But then she watched a Blue Water video that smeared me and Jean-Claude's name and then talked smack about us without even investigating. So I can't watch her anymore, but I like her still. I like her work.
I just don't understand that about the truth movement. Why do people slag each other off? Okay, I don't know whether to ask you this question now, but okay, so I'm going to ask you it anyway because it's about Christian 21.
Yep.
Interesting English guy. He's had downloads with extraterrestrials his whole life, and he had a dream and he says this is going to happen soon, which is why he's come out with it, where he saw the whole sky under the dome is there, and it's plasma, and it's frozen, and there's an 800-mile thick wall of ice attached to the dome. And he said that the ETs on the outside are going to use lasers in and cut out big, huge cylindrical things, and we're going to see them being pulled out of the sky, and it's going to be mind-blowing, and this is how they're going to capture the attention of billions of people. Is that true?
Okay, so I might get in a bit of trouble for saying this, but okay, that was a planted story for like somebody sent him that dream, and it was the bad guys. So that looks like that was meant to get out. They wanted that out there. But be discerning when you listen to stuff like that. So that looks like he might have been given that vision.
That's not the answer I expected. That's really interesting because that does happen. That's happened a lot in the last few years with psychics, mediums, people tapping into information from duplicitous entities, also different timelines and all of that kind of stuff. So it's been such a phenomenal lesson in discernment, this whole thing, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to finish up on a question about Avebury. You know about the stone circle in Avebury in England? It's an amazing stone circle, and the whole area is amazing. It's down Wiltshire way, which is where most of the crop circles are. So, and this is actually connected to the Atlantis Island thing as well. But anyway, there's a big stone circle there. I've had about 3 questions asked about Avebury because there's been lots and lots of helicopter activity and weird stuff over there. So, can I ask what's going on over there? Or is that the right kind of question? Vash, we've already answered that question about flights. Just rewind and go to the beginning if you want to know.
Okay, it looks like a battle. This feels like they were trying to stop something. So they heard through the back. The good guys heard through the back channels that something was going to go down there that was going to cause a lot of stress and or stress people out and or. So I feel like that's a gateway and or some kind of a opening, universal opening of some kind. There's other words for that. I just can't think of it right now. Archway, I get this weird idea, and it takes you right out to a whole nother dimension. Okay, so it's like you can escape dimensionally there. Okay, so they were going to do something really that would stress a lot of people out and hurt a lot of people. That got found out, and the good guys stopped it. So I feel like that they were using dark magic there to utilize that gateway, and it's been switched over, and now, but they battled it out for a while. So it was, you saw the activity there because there was a battle there, and it was sort of a good versus evil battle, and it's in the hands of good now.
Well, it's funny. I've been talking about portals a lot recently, and you know, I think I told you about the dragon I saw made of light go over my head last year. There's a portal. You know, I know people that tell me where the portal is in this lake here, and I was interviewing a guy today. We were talking about portals because this is where the interdimensional creatures come through, and the bad guys wanted to bring in the bad creatures, and you know, we want to bring in the good ones now. I've been asked here. We'll finish on a 1-card pull if we can, but I've just lost it temporarily. Oh yeah, Tony's asking, can you do a 1-card pull? Was the arch put into Eve? No, I don't think I understand that question. The arch. I thought you might know.
Arch.
Well, look, our hour is up. Thank you so much for coming on again. you guys
we'll skip that one.
I'm Segway. I'm a professional host now. Guys, if you want to come and see me and Janine live in the UK and Ireland, the links are below this video. Please come along. You'll have such a good time. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Just remember, the Ireland event is no longer at the Trump Hotel. We've got a new venue coming up. Go and read everything on the pages in the links below. And thank you so much, Janine, for being here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. That was a lot of fun. Keep your peckers up, and I'll see you soon.